in order to move forward. I was like, okay. I didn't put the snake on my arm until, I don't know, I don't even remember when I put it there, but it was 4 years after. The second thing they wanted me to do was wear this crystal in my heart chakra. And they said the same thing can go for anybody. You can wear anything. If you choose it and you call it, this is what I connect with. Every day I place it on my neck and I go, yes, I am a spiritual being in a human form living my path. They even said you can go out in your yard and pick up a rock. Bring the rock into your house and lay it by your bed. And every morning put your hand on the rock and say, hello, Mother Earth, or however you want to word it, good morning, whatever. I'm here. I know I'm here. I know I'm a spiritual being and I'm going to make the best of this day. I'm going to intend to have all the wonders that I need brought to me. So whatever your little ritual is going to be with your stone, you can do it. And it doesn't have to be a stone. It can be anything you choose. But when you come home at night, you can go back to your stone and touch the stone and say, thank you. Thank you for the day of opportunities and experiences. It was challenging, it was happy, it was good, it was whatever. It's a kind of this commitment thing that you're making to yourself. That's following the path. But you can do it with a stone, you can do it with anything that works for you. You don't have to have somebody sell you a bottle of something, but this is how you do it. This is a very simple way. So I wear the crystal because it splinters my heart energy. They said that the cuts in it would, and that people would feel my truth and not feel that, I was full of hot air, which sometimes I am. But that this would facilitate people feeling my truth. And the third thing they asked me to do was change my name. And they said that they wanted me to take the name Samoya, which was my tribal name or my ancient name. And that in taking that name, I would solidify my path. Because in the doing, we create the reality. So all this was really great and it was all wonderful, but I still thought, where's all this going? So I'm out one night, I'm in the bathtub, and these beings are saying, we need you to do something else with Bradfield. Now Bradfield's the guy that does the music. Every time I asked him to donate something for free, he'd say, we've got 30 minutes of free music. I said, well, they want you to do something else. And anyway, what they wanted him to do was, I was going to channel 10 songs from his collection of records. He had 14 albums. They were going to tell me what songs and what order. So 3 o'clock in the morning, I'd hear music. I'd say, the kids are up. And I'd go to look, and there was nobody up. It was in my head. And I'd hear number 2. I'd say, oh, that's number 2 for the CD. So I'd write it down. And over 3 or 4 weeks, I got the 10 songs. And the being said, look, Bradfield has the first one and the last one in his heart already. Tell him to put it together and make an album. And they wanted me to play the album at the Fire of the Grid event that I hold. Because they told me embedded within this music was 13 tones of healing and creation that were going to facilitate all those that listen and share at the time. I was like, okay. He sends me the album. I get in the bathtub with it. Embedded in the album, in the tonal frequency, is the second part of this Fire the Grid project, which is called Project Cause. And I was supposed to share that with everybody who I get to speak to. Project Cause is a project where we unite all the little causes of the world and we funnel them into one cause. And the first cause we must do as a group of humans on this planet is restore Maslow's hierarchy of needs to the children of the world. We can no longer go to bed at night knowing that these children are hungry, without clean water, and without a place to live. So the second part of this project is the human part of us putting our foot into it. So once we raise our heart vibrations from the dense material plane of me, and we lift it into the sharing heart zone of, look, there's plenty for everybody if we funnel it correctly. If we direct the energy that we're creating with Fire the Grid. So the first thing Fire the Grid is going to do is going to facilitate a lifting of our own personal field. And what they explained, see, I dance all over the place. I'll get back to Project Cause. They said if you had a barometer in your body, and at the base of the barometer was the bulb, and that was 1 megahertz. And at the top of your head was 1,000 megahertz. The material plane that we live in of greed and hatred and fear and anger and we suck and that kind of field is like 200 or 300 on your barometer. And this is down in this zone. This is living in the material world. You don't remember you're a spiritual being. All you know is that you're a human and you're pissed off and you're not getting what you wanted, or it didn't work out, or we didn't get what we needed. And what they want us to do is lift ourselves out of that and lift ourselves up to, say, 750. Because when you're at 750, you realize you're not just a human being. You realize that the human being is the challenging part of the journey. But what you really are is this incredible light being come down here to remember that you're not a human being. So that when you share and give and do for others, you constantly lift your field higher and higher and higher. And then you live here with joy, because torment doesn't bother you anymore. Because you know the torment is just another challenge. Oh, well, that's a challenge. So instead of saying my life sucks, which is what Shelley said every day of her life, now I see them and I go, oh, I see that challenge coming. And all of a sudden you don't look at it and go, my life sucks. You go, how am I going to handle that challenge? So the fact that I'm happy and joyful and I can stand here and share this with you is not because I drove in that lake and died and came back. Because if I had been left alone, I would have continued on my miserable life of Prozac and depression. But when I started practicing lifting my field, walking it every day, even though it didn't feel natural, even though it felt like I was faking it, they told me 3 things would lift your field every day. The first one was to be conscious of what you're doing. Random acts of kindness lift your field from that plane of me, 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 into sharing and giving. So when the guy cuts you off, instead of saying you stupid schmuck, and saying something mean, you say, I send you out some love because you seem like you're having a bad day. Good luck. I'm sharing a moment of my heart with you. As they drive by. Nobody sees you do this. This is not the good deed that we get acknowledged for, but those are the ones that count. The second thing they said we could do was lift our field by finding our joy. So if you're sitting there eating an ice cream cone and you're thinking it's the best ice cream cone you've ever had, and you're really enjoying it, just add a gratitude moment. This is such a great experience. Thank you. You don't even have to say it out loud, because I thought I had to be weird. I thought people were going to say, oh, there she is talking to the angels again. So in your head, you just say, thank you for this great experience, whatever that might be. And the third thing they said was to listen to music that uplifts you, lifts your soul. And Bradfield, one of his sentences is, color your world with shades that uplift you. Don't listen and look at stuff that bring you down. Cliff and I gave up looking at the news. It doesn't feed us anything but negativity, and we can't do a darn thing to help it. So when we removed ourselves from it, it was easier to stay in the field of love, knowing that we are planning our own little, we can fix stuff, but it's like little baby steps. But watching the news is not going to help. It's not helping me. So we stopped. So we play music. Bradfield's music is incredible. It's full of these tones, and we take the music because we share it. He's done everything for free, so we bring it and we present it. If anybody wants to purchase it, Bradfield gives me $10 out of the CD cost to help me get to another town. So we promote it for 2 reasons. He's helping me get around, but 2, the man has done everything for free. But his music's filled with these tones, but so is Mozart. There's lots and lots of music that uplift you, and when you're finished listening to it, you know, wow, that music is full of good stuff. You know it, because you feel great.